The Blue Jays drop Game 2 of the 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Blue Jays have not gotten good starting pitching. I mean, as much as I think Manoah pitched okay yesterday, the line doesn't suggest so, and Ross Stripling was not good today. Your offense doesn't show up in both games, and you are now 7.5 games behind the Tampa Bay Rays. It seems near days ago that the Blue Jays were, like 3 games behind the Rays for that wild card spot, and we're sitting there 3 games back of Oakland and them, and we're right in the thick of things. And just like that, you've now lost 3 consecutive games against Tampa, and it just hasn't been pretty whatsoever. Bottom of the first inning, leadoff guy, right out of the gate, Brendan Lau, solo bomb, puts him up 1-0. But then in the top half of the third inning with Santiago Espinal on base, Marcus Semien goes deep, and the Jays have a 2-1 lead. But that was very short-lived. As I've said in videos over the last few years, after you score a run, whether it's to get back in the game, tie a game, take a lead, extend the lead, whatever, you want to put up a 0 in the next half inning. Because what it allows your team to do is get right back on the offense where they just scored some runs, and it can keep them in the mojo of things. Well, that didn't happen today. It didn't happen yesterday either. Yesterday, you had the sac fly, then you came back and they scored runs, and you didn't score the rest of the game. Today, you have the 2-run bomb from Semien, then in the bottom of the third, Stripling gives up a solo bomb to Mike Zunino, and then a 2-run bomb to Brendan Lau, his second home run of the game. Kiermaier scores as well on the play there. And that 2-1 lead, you're now down 4-2 in the next half inning after you took that lead. And what happens after that? The Jays get no offense the rest of the way, pretty much. Yeah, a few hits sprinkled in here and there, but they can't get a clutch hit. They kind of threaten there in the 9th inning, but they can't get anything done. Then the bottom of the 8th, just to add insult to injury, Randy Arozarena hits an RBI single, scoring Austin Meadows off of Jordan Romano, and making it a 5-2 game, and that's how it finishes. The Jays now drop to 44-42 on the year. And the inconsistent play of this team continues. One day we see 11-1 win. Heck, we beat this team 11-1 last week. Then you won 6-3 against this team. But what is the common denominator in those 2 games? You got good starts from your starting pitching. It starts and it ends with starting pitching. If you don't have it, you're not going to be good. Look at the Baltimore Orioles. They have a horrendous rotation. They're an awful team. The Rays have outpitched you in this series. Good pitching beats good hitting. I don't care what the lineup looks like. This Jays lineup, on paper, looks like a dominant lineup that can kick everyone's rear end. They have a combined, 10 hits, 12 hits in the 2-game series so far? And a total of 3 runs? Good pitching can shut you down. And it has in this series, whether it's their starting pitcher or whether it's their bullpen. We talked about it in yesterday's video, how Ryan Yarbrough he rips the Blue Jays apart. Other than the 2-run bomb to Semien, he was great. But Ross Stripling wasn't good today. Well, he's been great. He's bound to have a bad shot. I understand that. But I'm analyzing this game. And when you give up 3 home runs in the first 3 innings of a ball game, it's not good. 3 2/3 for Ross Stripling out of 4 hits. 3 of them were home runs. And 4 runs, obviously. And then 5 strikeouts, and he walked 2 guys in 3 2/3. He wasn't sharp today. Now, is this just one of those, he's going to have a bad game here and there, bounce back in the next one? We'll have to see. That next one is post-All-Star break. Anthony Kay went out there, went 2/3 of an inning, ended up walking 2 guys to lead off an inning. He got the 2 outs to get out of Stripling's inning, but ended up walking the first 2 guys to the next one, and in comes Trevor Richards. And look, we talked about his stuff against lefties. What does he do here? He goes an inning and 2/3, strikes out 4. What a great job for Trevor Richards. He was fantastic again today, and so far, he's been great as a Blue Jay. And you know why? He throws strikes, but not just strikes. Quality strikes. Paints the corners. Changeup down. It works. Fastball up. It happens. It works. And Trevor Richards is an example of that. The guy throws 92, 93. He had 4 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 against Tampa. His stuff is good. Tim Mays went out there in the 8th inning and did a job, got out of the inning. If I'm not mistaken, he started the 9th. No, excuse me. Sorry. He allowed the run in the 8th, 1 hit, 1 run, and a strikeout. And then Jordan Romano came out there in the bottom half of the 8th. Mays was out there in the 7th. No, Mason must have went out there for the bottom half of the 7th inning. You can tell, I was just having a tough time watching this ball game. And Romano gives up, 2 hits, a walk, a couple strikeouts, no runs, but just 2 hits and a walk. That's not pretty in 1 inning of work from Jordan Romano. And as I said off the top, the Jays' offense just was not good enough today. 6 hits and 9 strikeouts. 9 strikeouts is not a whole lot, but 6 hits over a 9-inning game, it's just not. If you expect to win a ball game that way, you got to win a 2-1 ball game. But your pitching's got to be great, and it wasn't. You allowed 7 runs against Tampa in Game 1, 5 in Game 2. What was the common denominator in Game 1 and Game 2 there at Salem Field a week ago? Well, not only did you score 11 runs, you allowed 1 in Game 1. You allowed 3 in Game 2. The pitching's just not been good enough. It's pretty evident. Yes, the offense hasn't been great. But it deflates a team when you get a 2-run bomb and you put your team right back in the lead. You put your team in the lead. And then right away you give it up. And not only that, you give them a 2-run lead. It's just, it deflates your offense. It did yesterday, and it did again today. Robbie Ray gets the ball tomorrow against Rich Hill. It's a 110 first pitch there in the finale, in the final game before the All-Star break. I understand Jays fans, we're in a really rough spell right now. Watching this team kind of fall behind Tampa game after game after game, it's really, really rough to watch. And I understand it feels like it can't get any better. But if you end this series on a good note, you go out there tomorrow, a couple lefties on the mound in Ray and Hill. If you can find a way to win that ball game, salvage a game, be 6.5 back of the Rays, at least you're giving us something. But right now, it's tough to watch right now for the Toronto Blue Jays. The inconsistent offense, whenever they go down, they seem like they're just swinging at everything. Their approach to the plate is just kind of gone. And I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but you guys can let me know. But I don't know. They definitely need more pitching, whether it's bullpen, whether it's starting pitching help. I think we've been getting lucky Ross Stripling for quite some time. Has he been great? Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what he does in his next start. I don't know if that'll probably be Boston, wouldn't it? Because you start off with 3 against, he would probably get the opener against the Sox. You want to see what he can do again, right? He had a tough start. Can he bounce back from that? We'll have to see. And for the Blue Jays, they have to finish this strong. If you end this first half having gotten swept by the Tampa Bay Rays, being 8.5 back of them, probably at this point double digits back of the Red Sox, at that point, you're looking at 1 wild card spot as the possible chance for the Blue Jays. And that's you're fighting with the Yankees, you're fighting with Oakland. Those are some good teams. I don't care what the Yankees record suggests. They're a good team. The Jays got to find a way to get that W tomorrow, no matter what it takes. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and did not enjoy the game today, because it was another terrible one, another Tropicana Field-esque affair for the Toronto Blue Jays. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. What'd you like, what'd you not like from the Toronto Blue Jays? My thing that I like from the game, Trevor Richards. That's about all I got. You guys can let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments below. Twitter's down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. The Instagram link is down below, so follow up there if you have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition, tomorrow. And it's an afternoon affair. 110 first pitch. Robbie Ray, Rich Hill is the pitching matchup in the finale of the 3-game set as the Jays look to salvage 1. And if you win that game, You're 6.5 back of the Rays. You lose that, you were 8.5 back. It's a big game tomorrow. I understand we still lost the series and this and that, but if you can find a way to salvage that and go into the break, 6.5 back of the Rays, in reaching distance somewhat of the Oakland A's, then maybe turn something around. But 8.5 is a really big thing, especially at the All-Star break over halfway through the year. It's going to be tough at that point. I understand it's only a 2-game swing, but that's huge. All right? So, guys, tomorrow afternoon, 1:10 first pitch, Robbie Ray, Rich Hill in the finale at Tropicana Field. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.